What's going on, y'all? Thanks for checking in with Callie. Please subscribe if you haven't already. So we're here at opening night with the Clippers versus the Phoenix Suns. So let's talk about some opening night keys to victory that the Clippers are going to need to utilize to help them get the victory tonight against the Phoenix Suns. First off, I would say, definitely glad the season is here. Watched the games last night also, the Lakers and Timberwolves and the Knicks and the Celtics. Definitely some good excitement, there just coming into the season, opening up the season and everything. I definitely liked, the energy, especially with, looking at the home teams play and everything. Can't say I'm a fan of the Celtics and teams like that, but still I just like the energy of the NBA tip off of the season and everything. So it's finally here, and I'm definitely glad. But as far as the Clippers, they're going to have to just really start on the defensive end. And then that's where it's going to have to pretty much end at the end of the night. It's going to start there. It's going to end there. Really, their offense it's not going to be limited. But I mean, of course, you have James Harden at the helm, and James Harden, of course, he's not the Harden from Houston, but I'm pretty sure you're going to see moments and spurts of him look like that, because without Kawhi being there, which is very unfortunate, they're going to have to lean on James Harden a little bit more. And I think Ty Lue said something interesting in his press conference where he spoke on, the Kawhi situation, James Harden leading the team right now going into the season without Kawhi being there, that they're gonna get a little bit, they're gonna ask a little bit more out of James Harden, and but they also want to be smart about it because they don't want to run him into the ground, and they want to be efficient as possible. And I thought that was well said by Ty Lue, because that's what you're gonna have to do. You're gonna have to get good efficiency out of James Harden. The fact that James can actually pass the ball pretty good, can get 10 to 15 assists per night if he chose to, that makes it a little bit easier for their offense, because James Harden can find guys and get them in position to score. And as long as you got guys, knocking down shots how they should and cutting to the basket, putting that extra effort in on offense, going after loose balls, not being shy to get dirty and get down there and get gritty if need be, this team can find ways to, get wins, at least until Kawhi can find his way back, to the team and get on the roster and, do what he does best. Because ultimately, I said before in the offseason, I think this team could be really good, especially if Kawhi is healthy, because when you look at all the defensive pieces and the length that they have, just as a team, as a unit, they have a lot of pieces where it's like they can throw at you defensively. I mean, especially from the wing position and the perimeter position. I mean, you got Derek Jones Jr. who can guard out there. Nicholas Batum still can guard out there. James Harden, honestly, he's not the best defender by any means, of course, but he will be physical with a player, because James Harden likes to be physical at times. He can't really defend at the highest level, but he can be physical with a player and kind of like bother him at times a little bit. And then you still got Zubac, in the paint. If he decides to actually show up on defense, that would be great. You got Mo Bamba there. You got some pieces, and I think that the Clippers definitely can utilize in their favor. And I think those type pieces, they will bode well for you, going forward. And like I said, with the length that they have, guys that are willing to, get dirty in there. And you can't forget Terrence Mann. He's good on defense, so it's like when you look at their makeup, they're made to be more of a defensive team than anything else. And then, of course, if you add Kawhi Leonard back to that mix, now that's the ultimate defender of all. He's the best defender on the team of all. But if you add him in there with those other long, lengthy wing defenders and perimeter guys who can guard on the perimeter, it's going to make life a lot difficult. So I think that's where their approach needs to be with this game, because, of course, you got KD, you got Bradley Beal, and you got Devin Booker. Now, that's a handful all on its own. But one night, you can be the better team in one night. You really can. So, I mean, I'm not saying that the Clippers, will win the game, because there's no guarantees. I believe they can win the game because, like I said, you can beat any given team one night of the season. That's just the way it is. Now, beating them 7 times in a 7-game series, well, that's a whole lot different, but you need all your pieces there. Everybody needs to be healthy for that. But one night, I think the Clippers can suffice for that. And I think if James Harden can come out there and, give them the 20, 25 point range somewhere in there, he's going to need something like that. and he's going to need very minimal turnovers. That's going to be another key for their victory. They're going to need to be, turnover worthy or turnover prone less. They need to not turn the ball over as much, less turnovers, more possessions where you're getting opportunities to score, and of course lesser for the opposing team. That's going to be a lot better. Now, of course, defensively, it's going to be hard to stop KD and the rest of the crew there. But at the same time, one thing about the Phoenix Suns, because they have so much firepower, they tend to lag at times from what I've seen last year. Now, they could be a little bit different this year going into this season because their mindset might be a lot different and things of that nature, and, different coaches and things like that. I definitely can see that possibly. But for the most part, when teams have a lot of firepower like that, usually they just tend to lag during games. I mean, we saw it last year with the Clippers at times, because they had so much firepower. There was times where it looks like they were lagging. They weren't really playing to their best of their abilities because they have so much talent. It's like they could flip a switch anytime they want to. You know what I mean? And sometimes teams like that have fallen into that category just because. Now, this could be a night where they actually can fall into that category. I could see the Phoenix Suns getting up by maybe 10, 12 points, 10, 15 points, and they kind of take their foot off the gas, and the Clippers slowly but surely, methodically just keep playing hard on defense, get a few turnovers, get a few easy buckets on fast breaks, which I think that's another thing the Clippers are going to have to really, try to pay attention to and implement, try to get some easy buckets because you don't have your superstar that can match at least one or two of their superstars. Or one of their star players, you have to do it by committee. You have to do it collectively. So any assist or any turnover you can get that leads to fast breaks, easy points, you have to capitalize on that. And that's what's going to help you propel you to possibly win this game and eke out this win and get this big W to start your season off right against a team of this caliber by doing the little things. And the little things are going to go a long way in this game because I think it'll definitely bode well for the Clippers because Ty Lue is one of those type coaches where he likes to try all facets that might benefit his team in winning, even though he might not have the most talent on his team, because he's been used to doing that these last several years due to the fact of Kawhi being hurt and PG being hurt, throughout the years. So, I mean, he's definitely used to it. He's definitely all for it. And he's definitely, not, opposed to it. So, I mean, that's exactly what the Clippers are going to have to think about going into this game. Now, I expect, as I said, James Harden to have around 20 to 25 points. I expect a big game really out of Norman Powell too. I expect him to have about 19 plus points coming off the bench if he's given the time to do it. And I want to see more from, if you heard me say, I want to see more from Terrence Mann. I don't want him to be gun shy. I want him to go out there and play with confidence on the offensive end. I know he plays always decent on the defensive end, but offensively, now that Paul George isn't there, I need him to pull that trigger and not be so gun shy, because they're really going to need his offense. They're going to need him to be the two-way player that they envisioned him to be, a couple seasons ago. They're going to need him to start developing into that more. And now without Paul George being there, he has more of an opportunity to do that. And in saying that as well, I also would like to see a little bit more from Bones Highland coming off the bench or whatever minutes he gets, because they're going to need, some of his energy as well. I think they're going to definitely be able to utilize him a lot more because, like I say, he's going to have more opportunity also. And the big men, the Mo Bambas and the, Zubac and all them, they need to be the anchor in the paint. They need to hold the paint down. They need to be aggressive on defense, not always let teams just get in the paint, knife their way in the teeth of the defense and get easy layups. Make teams respect you in the paint. You got size, a little bit more size in there, Mo Bamba now. So, I mean, go at teams, attack them defensively. Don't be shy. Don't be scared to, be aggressive. And, put that message out there and let teams know when you come in the paint, it's going to be a problem. It's not going to be, a easy ride. And that's the mentality they're going to have to play with every single night. Even when Kawhi gets back, they're going to have to play with that mentality because they don't have as much star firepower as some of these other teams. And obviously, you don't want to run Kawhi or nobody else into the ground. So everybody's going to have to do it collectively. It's just tonight against the Phoenix Suns. It's going to have to be a little bit more collectively because Kawhi isn't there. Don't know when he's going to return, but hopefully he'll return sooner than later. But we'll see how the end result is. I think if I had to give a prediction, I'm going to go 116 to 110 Clippers. and we'll see what happens at the end of the game.